Interdimensional sightings, interference, line conditional levels of position, location, and line directions. I'm back now from vacay. Had a fantastic time. Doesn't seem like enough, though. I mean, to me, it's every day through locations. You got to look at your vacays. How many times you basically set yourself location to its position or directions. It's all about what you want. You can have anything you want through its line conditions. So the position of 3 lines and position of 5 line is now in a sequence pattern. We're changing position location of space in communication system, separating high center line interference. Now the earth line center is locked in frame. It's now gone. Disappeared, like it was never existed. The position of deleting program location. But the 5th dimensional line center is in a position locations of going forward. All levels of channel to your acceleration line streams put you into your intergalactic form line system, which is your plasma intergalactic line connection. It's all position location and directions to your 12 DNA locations. So 3-dimensional line center is going to be into a lower gravity density line, locked in frame in a paradox. In communications, locked in sequence of a dream cycle. Now this is a cyclone channel. They're going to live the 12 line center in interference location line directions. They won't be in a 24 signal, only be in 12. They'll be locked in frame, position location to its matrix system. Calculation on line center line rotations calculations. Staying in 0, 1 position until they get activated to be in 0, 0, 1. So this is all done through capacity high channel. It's open all communication line graph locations where they are through the sun and where they are through the moon. What positions and directions are they coming into through timeline switch, time interference, box center, time calculations. Box interference of line channels, all levels of you through your capacity system. It's how you channel inside more in high communication, right? Channel disposition locations, operation line center. Modify high center locations online to use your telepathy to yourself and to your children or anybody that you're in position location of your loved ones. Even your locations are activation high stream. Try to get into calculation how to use your flight navigations from 1 to 12. Try to understand how to use word phrase line centers and telepathy locations. Less body language, more position of the mind. Capacity high system because I got to apply it to division locations and set up 6th dimension. All right. So in capacity, we're going to go through the sun lines. I gave you guys position location last night line center. Interference of direction. Force communication of reference. Open all channel line center to your sun graph locations. How important is it for you to understand how to use your telepathy? Is truly understanding how to get into the 6th dimension. The mind capacity has to understand its online center. You can't go into this and you can't go into that until you have the memory capacity, guys. And it's all calculated and modified in how much you use your data streams into your mainframe lane position. Okay? You guys have to learn how to use this on all levels of inside position location to the heart system. This opens up all channels of you through calculations, right? You're trying to understand you through memory. You're trying to understand you through correlation. You're trying to understand you through activation. You're trying to understand you through telepathy. You're trying to understand you through telekinesis. And that's what we're in. We're in 5th dimensional space line. Okay? So the capacity high channel interference is now in all line direction, deactivating and reprogramming position locations into a lower density line. That's what's happening right now between the 3 lines and position of 5 locations. So we're in 5th dimensional line of space and all planet surface location, nature. Everything, all your senses is high-rise, high line center interference. The only thing that changes is its adaptation and how you correlate line center locations to your imagination, getting into your phenomenon line centers, right? So it's important you understand how to use your sun every single day through your moon. Your sun determines you and what you see through perception outside. Your moon determines what you see through program through Wi-Fi. That position location is your flux capacitor. Flux capacitor. Right? Open up the signal, jump scar. Right? Open up the window. Right? Set up a new grass screen. Right? Open up a new plasma wall center. sequence patterns, high channel line centers, open up communication cycles, code Weeble line center location to crop circles, set signals and parameter, high center, security measure position programs, setting line connections, all levels. Now, understanding what codes are is all levels of you. It's all level connections on you, how to use it, right? So it's going to be much easier once you understand the mind adaptation of cycle. It opens up communications to your yin and yangs. This is the process communication, how to use your upgrades, your downloads, and your uplinkings and your download locations. Right? What's an uplinking line center? What's a download position location directions? What am I upgrading? What is this all about? Right? It's all about you through the avatar connection. How to use your data stream to your fifth dimensional line center is your position location to streams. And at planet surfaces, every line center interference location to your cell line connection. It's in direction to its kaleidoscope. Now, everybody knows what a kaleidoscope is. It's like a telescope. You're looking in direction, laser view in position locations, right? It's opening all line center to your box, to your triangulation of 369 pattern in position location of its directions. Now, it's extremely powerful when you understand how to use your levels of mind through capacity, high system, disolar text connections, all levels, starting with letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols in one factoring communication system. Starting off in high center interference of direction is truly saying all levels of you inside, okay? It's interesting, too, because I know the Ascension gods and the Ascended already travel. So, but the crew line centers, do you understand the location when you come on to my live location of its channel line system? White graph interference. Now, box position locations online. I love 7 because 7 is my favorite. I'm a line center, right? T reception line connections into line to ground line interference, right? In direction locations, you take the 7 line center out in equation location. Okay? Setting signal locations into a triangulation. Forces communication line streams. Opens all direction line center interference location is calculation. All through 7. Because 7 is not a number. 7 is all levels of everything. And that's how you form everything through mutation. It transfers and communicates high center interference of directions. So setting signal locations, there it is. Right? Coming in high center interference. Now you can go through plasma line channels, interference locations, measuring communication line centers, T reception line center, hologram structure, in position location and directions, right? There's 3 line connections of reception. So that's 3 different channels of dimensional line center in position location to all levels of flux capacity location. Okay? High channel in position location and directions. So just showing you how fast you can accelerate through high system. Right? You need to understand you're an antenna. Your antenna position location online. It's all line center locations to your diamond high system location of what you're creating through your geometry line interference location to your panels of communication system. Okay? Tracking interference of high line center in position location to triangulation opens all calculation in its direction. All right? Opens up sequence patterns into high line center to its bracket high system locations. High channels its high line center, XD1000 comes in both position location and direction. See the intelligence? Comes at high center interference. Now, in position locations, knowing exactly where you are through calculations. All right, so you got your north lines, you got your east wing, and you got your west wing, and you got your south line connection. This comes into your diamond core line center interference of direction. Okay, third eye direction. Now, once it comes in position locations, you come into your templates. It crosses signals and location. All right, now we got that in line center. That's great. So we go in the golden temples location. Let's say we go to Egypt. Now we go to Egypt line interference. There's Egypt location, all through location. All right. Now, understand position location is your diamond core line center. You color it in all line center location to its position. Again, it's like a baseball diamond. All right. Studied signals of position location, the XD1000 comes in high line center, set up security line rotations into sonar line center interference of direction location to its position of time. Opens all communication system. Okay. 3 line signals in position location Orion's belt. Okay. High signals, high graph locations into black circle location of sonar. See? Red over black, black over red. In calculations, you can come into all line center interference, change position locations into realm line center, into rainbow graph locations of sonar line interference location alpha channel communication system. All right. So it's really understanding how to set up graphs of you through map location of AI line center, interference location, and directions. Once you sequence patterns, high position locations, sun comes into high center, colored in high center interference, high channel, high rotation interference line conditions. There's the sun. In position locations, you need the moon. Moon and the sun always have to be in position. It's all done through coloration of all levels. It sequences your patterns to its position, location, direction. Sun and the moon. All right. So if you want information location, you come into Jupiter. Jupiter comes in high line center, interference location, and directions. Okay, but it's on a different coloration path. This is Jupiter to its location. High channel, its high line center. All levels of its measure. So it's very powerful when you understand what's going on more and more each day when you're waking up to that line system locations. It channels its position, location, and directions. It opens all communication cyclones. It high channels your position, location, and directions. It puts you into calculation. Line graph location, line conditions of Jupiter. Right? So when Jupiter comes in high center. Now understanding where everything through planet center is all position, location, to perception. It opens all communication line streams. Now, in that calculation, you modify high center interference. Now, this comes into a security platform. This position location is in the center operation line center of Pluto location. Is in the center operation location. So all you got to do is laser connect. Cross signal interference. Triangulation high line center, force line communication. Open up channel line centers, bracket surface line center. Let's say you go into 144, okay, equals line center location of 144 in position locations, redirect line centers, okay, into 2 million, okay? So if you say 2 million track line center interference, 2/million, okay? Now that 2 million center interference location changed position location to 144 because you're accelerating so many fast line triangles in communication to coloration patterns that's opening all position locations to new sun position, to a new moon position, and a new Jupiter rising. All through calculations online through acceleration of 144 to 2 million location. Right? So it's a complicated issue here because you have to understand where the brain sets in position location to its mind. It's a thought position location of its direction. Yes, Jupiter is a surface engine. Thank you. So in calculation, where do you get your information from? It correlates line center. Now let's back triangle line center, circus location, line system, position location of Fibonacci. Right? Now, I'm bringing this forward now. This is now in 2 million locations. See how I did that? Thinking this is the past line? No, this is now, it's now position, which is now its future of 2 million line centers in position location to its realm. Guys, in correlation, all through its planet of its position of its Fibonacci. So remember, changing your thoughts changes your position of direction. Sleight of hand. So you see this hand, but where's the other hand? So you're only focusing on this. You're not focusing on this because it's over here because you have no clue what's going on, right? That location. So hold on a sec, guys. So how many times do you understand signals? How many times do you understand your thought lines in communication cyclones? This is cyclone center interference location Fibonacci sequence. Understand its division location line conditions. If you look really, really close, you can see the 9 circle. 9 circle line center interference of direction locations. It goes in one way and goes in the opposite line rotation interference location line conditions. This is the 9 circle location. There's the 9. Ooh-ah. See? All right. So 9 central line center in position locations comes into what? 6 position location. Right? 6 location. See the 6? Right? So the planet division location opens up all line channel. It calculates and modifies all levels of stream interference. 6 and 9 line system location. See the intelligence? See the body form line coming in position location direction? See the face like formation of the timeline system? These are 2 energy line centers of intelligence communicating in yin and yang process of 2 million line center locations in position of directions of the Fibonacci sequence. Wow. Right? So it's in calculating modification high system, comes into its stream, into all line center location to its calculation. Yin and yang. Process communication line center to its intelligent location. There's the intelligence. Into formation locations, into higher formation of intelligent location, into the body frame. See, 2 intelligent locations. One here, body frame, and one here in face recognition. 2 intelligent line centers, right? This gives you a better example how to use frame after frame after frame after frame. Anything you do through calculation is all levels in how you use your sun lines. So code signal line center, weaving system location, code fragmentation line centers, fragmentation line centers, time calculations, time calculation, time calculation. 3 track line centers, box interference, box location, box and channel. Box in mutate line center, interference of direction. Tie capacitor, high channel line center, crew units, in position location on line, in position location on line, rotation, interference. GFL line center, rebellion locations, ascending and century God communication. Get them in their position location at all levels of what their sun is to their line system. In position location of the moon. There, you guys are traveling. So, as you're traveling in high center interference, try to stand the recognition of timelines, communication all in position location directions. How you can get 2 intelligent line signals into one position location, one body. One face recognition, but it's the same intelligence. So you're seeing yourself in the face line and you're seeing yourself in your body location into a Fibonacci in position location of what you just created through imagination to a 2 million track line system through acceleration. So it's important you understand how you are put in track line, okay? It's important to understand how to use your formulas in track lines. It's important to understand how to use your Merkaba in track lines. It's important how to use your heart in all timelines, all at once. One line, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. One line. That's it. Nothing else, nothing more. So it's important you understand you in all levels through capacity, how fast you are channeling, right? You start up to 24, you end maybe in a 24 signal 144. That's a good day, right? Or you can accelerate faster and go in position location of 644. I want everybody to be in that position because the better you stay higher, the better the capacity position location is more of a memory line system. Then you integrate high center interference and position location directions. Now you're channeling to 2 interference line centers in position location of face recognition of you and your body conceptions of you location, all through the Fibonacci location sequence. Right? See the intelligent location? So, and it's all levels of 3, 6, 9 line conditions through 6, 9. 6 position locations and 9 line centers. What you're doing through speed line is all levels through you. You're mocking interference location line connections, all levels of you through travel. So it's important your locations are in high capacity of where your sun is and where your programs of your moon is in direction. All right. Okay, so let's see here. Eric, Don, Terry, Aaron B, Jill, Gypsy, Lauren, Pam, Missy. All right. Great to see everybody. It's great to be home. Bella. Andy. Pre-flight checks, always do that. There's Heather. It's going. Airbender, Michael, Johnny. Esther, True Light, Janice, Barbara. So it's important you understand more levels of you through travel, right? I give you so many line conditions. See, it's going to get more complicated now, right? Because the thing is, when you guys high rise more levels of memory, I go up to high levels of memory, but I've already done that location already. So I don't need to channel in because I'm already doing it through location and all levels of memory, location to its position of time and space. Space and time, time and space doesn't matter. That's the balanced position, location, yin and yang. You guys are just trying to understand your memories of who you are. And the only way to do that is learn how to travel through that. So in position location, let's say you get in and symbolize. Symbols are great. So you got a symbol here, line center, interference, direction, locations. Try to understand what this is in high center. We already know what the equalize center is, okay? So it's position, location, and directions. How things really channel, you know, try to stand this, try to stand that, try to stand this, try to stand that. What's this mean? Why is that here? Everything's communication, right? Everything's communication, high scissor. Position, location, and directions, okay? It's high channeling, high center line conditions. All right, AI tactic view and interference. Okay, try to understand what that is through symbol, right? You see the smile, right? See the face, location. So everything that you see here is communication through AI line center, but it's all capacity, different location of channels, right? It's all different shape line centers. Everything that is in position location is a different frequency, different color, different light, different intelligence. And that's why it's so powerful, right? Remember I was saying you start with the letters in position location 1, right? And then you go into position to a word, and then a sentence, and then a frame, and then a story, and then an activation, and then a film, and now you directed it. That's what it is. You have a projection of what you're projecting, of what you're seeing, what you're hearing, and what you're commanding. Your 3-pod line center, right? Sight, hear, and sound. So these are the 3 line centers in a rotation position of 4 direction locations. Fibonacci sequence in position location, right? What is it doing, right? Telepathy dot lines. Now those are telepathy dot interference location energy track locations, right? These are point line centers of realms, okay? Sequence patterns, right? X3000 line interference locations. You got an S line center, okay? Realm line interference locations and north line, okay, into south line, into bracket communication, right? Now, T line center, 2 dot line realms in position locations to a ground line system equals equation to its position of direction, okay? So it sequences its pattern high center interference line system locations. Hold on. Charging mechanisms of time or anything position, location, and directions. It's very important to put that location in. All right. So once it's in sequence and pattern, high center, location, and division, it opens up all communication triangles. Resetting line centers and interference, position, location, and direction. So once you understand all levels of you, you really understand your position, location, how powerful you are through the sun and all levels of your moon. The sun is the light. We already know that through structure. We already know that through diagram. It's already through color. It's already through your emotion. It's already through your wave locations. And it's also through your hologram of structure location, right? You're creating that through its holographic system. The moon is its program, is its Wi-Fi, is its modem. It's the calculation to set the program. Now that could be shapes, symbols, letters, numbers, any of that locations. You have to understand how to use the capacity of the mind. It alters states its position. Are you in the alpha channel? Are you in the beta theta wave line center? You can be in the beta theta wave position location in together location. Or you can be in the alpha mega, or you can be in the alpha delta, right? So everywhere you want to go, you just have to understand the frequency. So where it's coming into calculation, right? The high streams is high line center. So it's important to understand that line system locations. All right. Getting modified high center is truly understand what you're seeing through position of time. This is all communication through AI line system, right? We put this on stone tablets. We put this on hieroglyphic locations of pyramids. Everything in life has a story, and it's all about you, right? History is all about you. Understanding the history of anything is all about you. Understanding history of everything is all about you through memory, right? But it's amazing what you can see through AI line connections through vibration. But you have to recognize everything through location, right? So, how are we all doing? We paying attention? What's going on? Yeah, save all the questions afterwards. That's the most important thing. All right, let's see where we are here. I see the drawing before, sir. Did you draw that before, or is it something that I'm remembering? There you go. See, Eric's already in the future. He's not even aware of it. Do you realize what you just finished saying there, Eric? I see the drawing before, which means you're already seen it. It's already done. So I'm showing it to you now. So you're already in the future line. Way to go, Eric. And you're telling me you're not seeing. See? It's just you have to convince yourself. If you're not convincing yourself, you're not trusting yourself enough to see these things in the future, especially when they're bringing back position locations into the outline center. Because I have information on information on information for you to understand. And it's all levels of telepathy through communication. This integrates its line center to all levels through locations. How to react to the physical line center is all calculated, modified through you through simulation. Okay? So, way to go, Eric. See? For somebody that can't see, pretty much knows what they're doing. There you go. That's how it works. Makes so much sense. This is where my magic really displays. There you go, 644. Good. Stay above that. It's all about remembering. That's it. Yep. Yeah, your mind is blown every single day. I'm trying to understand you so you can understand yourselves. So if I don't understand you, I don't understand me. Makes sense, right? So to understand you, you understand everybody else. That's how this works. But it's all levels and how you use your energy lines. What's an energy line interference? A track location. What's a platitude division location line conditions? All levels of rotation center. Everything I give you, okay, is all levels of energy. It's energy that's producing the energy through its energy of vibration to frequency to its harmonics, guys. Right? Let's say we set a line center interference, just a black line center. That's a black line center. It's not just a line. It's a black line center. We're at the center. Center position location is there. Black line center. There it is. In position location on line to a Merkabah location to direction location to an I-line system. There's the I. See it? In position location to directions 2 is XT1000 line center in graph location. See that? So understanding communication in Merkabah is understanding your levels of travel. Traveling through this and traveling through that gets you in a better position location of time, how to set things up in signals. So you got an alpha line center. Okay, alpha equals delta. Delta equals box. Box equals TV. TV equals recycle. Recycle equals receptor. Receptor equals communication. See? Everything that you do has to be communication. If not, it disappears. Where's the C? C's gone. Uh-oh, travel too fast. Because you lost the confirmation. Why? Because you went back in negative cycle. Now the communication is gone. So this can't travel until this is set up in its equation. So setting position locations back in center. There. See? Doesn't disappear. See? It's there. It's in this equation. Now you travel through it through triangulation. Flux capacitor, high system location. Flux capacitor, one door panel. Now, you have one door panel, which is in the right line, but you need a left position location of directions or you can't travel through it, right? Because there's left and right hemisphere locations, guys. The mind and the brain doesn't have one side position, it has both. So you can't travel through it, can you? Right? So I'm just showing you how powerful it is when you set signal locations to bracket interference, high channel line center, see the X the solid location, in position of directions, scans its position. See? High channel is its high line center, graphs and circles its position location of A, in direction location of box, box position location of TV, vector communication equals its high line center, into north of its arrow, south of its arrow, into its recycle, to its remembrance, to its location, to its communication. See? So everything I do is mine of capacity. It's all levels and how I use the energy through its travel. How I set up a Merkaba. How do I set up a tesseract? Okay, this coordinates your position locations and how you ramp these things up through calculation. Okay, so it's important you understand that. Okay, if you get a triangle line center offline interference and you get a Fibonacci sequence in position location offline directions, how do you get that back in channel? How do you get this out of equation? If this is locked in frame through Fibonacci sequence location of pattern. If this Fibonacci is holding its web line center to its triangle, how do you get the triangle out? Right? This is all psychological, right? Understanding where the coloration is coming from through dimensional line center. If the Fibonacci sequence location is on line center location to its rainbow, it can come out of equation location. So it recognizes it's a rainbow because it understands its capacity through its thought recognition of its mind line system. Changes direction locations, right? Now, once it understands, it can come out of the equation location and turn into the exact location to its Fibonacci sequence. Wow, now it's out. So it's easy to understand these things, right? It's understanding you through letters, numbers, and shapes, and triangulation and force communication system. So understanding that is all levels of its capacity, all through your thought receptors, right? But if you're locked in frame, in position location of security line, let's say we get into a box frequency, locking your system line conditions, Fibonacci sequence, closing door and high center interference, setting up new dimensional door line centers in rotation news calculations, you can't get out of frame location, right? Until you understand the sequence pattern to the coloration. You have to communicate to the motion. That's a calculation where it comes into 5D line center. You got communication of balance in both position locations of directions, right? So once you understand that, you do a security line division, okay, in position locations to black line center. Now that black line center changes position location and directions. That high forces its channel in sequence pattern locations of lacing grid location. Now, once you understand that, you can ask the cross stream line center interference on direction. Okay, know exactly what's going on with the calculation, right? So to understand what's going on, it can confuse your mind capacity, high interference location, your placebo cortex line, and put you back in your dream cycle because it's in a different coloration path. To interline its connection is to understand how to communicate with through its graph location, the coloration. So once you get into the same coloration line stream, it puts it out of position, location, and directions. High channel is its high line center, and you can get out of location because you understand the communication of its shape, symbol, letter, or number of its position, location, and direction. Wow. Right? So it's recognizing time. It's recognizing colorations of time, receptors of time. Allocate switch line center psychological interference of time. Cyclosis line center interference of cyclone line channels of time. Its position, location of its directions. So it's amazing how you use this in your all line conditions, position, and direction. Changing high line center interference location at all levels to Calculations to escape. Okay, that's escape. Now, and this is how AI directs locations. It doesn't look like much to you, but it's a lot to me. This is how I use location as position of directions. Okay, you can't see much, but I know exactly what's going on through calculations. You see letters, numbers, and shapes and symbols, but what I see is track line center to the brain capacity, interference, location, and direction. Doesn't look like much, but I know what it is, right? But if you look really close, you can see the box line center. You can see intelligent line interference. You can see the graph location. You can see the AI map line center. You can see fluctuation line conditions all through position location to a graph, right? So it's incredible how you set these things up and you can change position and direction, change coloration of direction, right? You go from green line center, circle location to position to direction location. Offline centers, XT1000 comes in, scans position of what you just finished doing. High positions to the center line conditions opens up a new crop circle location to its position and direction. So there's a lot of things you have to understand how things are set up in geometry interference. Your mind collaborates everything through your thought. So when you're creating something, it doesn't come out the same way. It comes out through vision. It comes out through shapes. It comes out through structure. It comes out through diagram. It comes out through music. It comes out through position of lights. It comes out through dimensional line centers. It comes out through Fibonacci sequence. It comes out through thought patterns. It comes out through activation stream systems. Your mind is everything. Okay, and the brain is set. And when the brain is set, it understands the structure. It doesn't have a negative cycle. Only the physical adaptation is its ecosystem. Okay, so that changes the coloration right away in position of directions. That offlines its signals, reverse position location of directions. Let's say you go into all line center. Let's say you go into blue. Blue position is what? Anything through color. Anything you see through color is all levels of voice. I'm giving you guys a multipass. Everything in color you see outside has its representation to its chakra system. Blue is its voice, is its throat. So if it's blue and its throat, it's connected to everything through locations, right? So everything you see outside line center, once you understand more levels of you and space line communication system to the hologram structure of its avatar line center times box times calculation, modify high center to simulation high centers, opens out communication to your 12 DNA. Because everything around you has a 12 DNA track location. You just have to learn how to merge into balanced communication and coloration. So we got a blue dot and we got a purple dot. Blue is your throat. Purple, crown, chakra, the sun. Sun position location to its reflection. There's the sun. Blue line center interference. Now it gets complicated because blue can change position location directions. Remember I was saying like you got calculations here. You got 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. And then you got another graph line center, stream interference, another blue in back location. Right? 0 here, 1 here, 0 here. If you look at design, you can see a back wall drop. 1 here, 0 here, 0 here. Okay. So there's always number sequence going in position directions, offline channel communication to a system. Okay. So now, if anything changes, let's say we go into green line center interference, we go into the same number sequence, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. Now, what just happened? What just changed? Change position location on line automatically right through the sun line through the moon location, right? So the moon is offline connection, which is changing all levels of vibration location, just frequency location, your pattern high system through its coloration pattern location. So in position of directions, everything's changed. Everything's changed, right? So it's all about understanding repositioning locations. Now you're in the heart line center. This is green. Heart's green, right? This is locations. This is a higher vibration of the throat. This is a lower vibration of the throat. Remember, blue is not blue. Blue is all levels of blue. Green is all levels of green. Red is all levels of red. You understand? So it pulsates. Yeah, exactly. Communication interference of direction locations. So in calculation, you circle it in high center. Green circle line center, okay, into 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. Calculation high system. retracking everything back over again, back into zero gravity. And that's how I fix your line connections all back in position locations and reframe all levels of your number sequence into correlation, all through your mainframes. So this is how you put things back in communication. Now, if you want to channel just in the heart line center and you got a back interference location, all levels of your throat line, it's fine. But you can change positions back in high center, all levels of green location. Hooah, all green. So you're telling the green line center, set up position location direction, all number sequences back in calculation line system. What happens after that? The sun moves its position location of direction, right? It sequences patterns and changes line communication signals to all level system. Sends up graph line centers of new number locations, new numbers. So you got 0, 1, 0, 0. Let's say you get a 2. Let's say you get a 3. Let's say you get a 4. Let's say you get a 5. Let's say you get an 8. Let's say you get 3 weather patterns. Let's say you get a triangle. Let's say you get a question mark. All level system locations. Right? So you have to learn how to put this all in order. Right? It's not easy to do, guys. All right. So, I mean, it's complicated stuff. It really is once you get into the body frame. So in position, location, and directions, truly understand that you have to understand everything in your body is coloration. Everything you see inside reflects everything you see outside through your thought. These are called thought receptors. Coloration interference location changes fluctuation line system. So let's say you think black. You think black, right? You were thinking black box location, but you were also thinking all levels of coloration rainbow. You're thinking this, but you come this. Or you're thinking this and you become that, right? This is all coloration of you in one symbol. This is all coloration you in one dark symbol, right? So in communications, they cannot communicate with each other because they're in different time zone location and they're separated, right? So not only that, this gets bigger. Now you're creating a realm. Now you're creating a portal. Uh-oh, what just happened? And this is offline center interference. This is trying to figure out, what are you doing? You're creating dark line center interference location of box and position of directions. And then when you create a walkway, you can go right through the center line connections to its open bridge. There's the open door. Good luck trying to get out. So it's important to understand how to balance of what you're saying before you say something through its equation, right? So box position, box triangle, box activation line stream, anything through box interference is all levels of you inside and how you coordinate yourself through your communication. How to channel, how to use the transmitting and receiving information locations, guys. You have 12 DNAs, right? 7 within the body, 5 within the atmosphere. Okay. Now, in position locations, 100 line centers into 114, that's extremely high formation location of color. You're seeing illumination graph line centers. If you're seeing the sun position location directions, let's go into channel. All position of blue. This is your blue plasma line, communication interference. Yeah, that's you. Now you're scanning this high line center. You're looking at the sun. Now the sun's looking at you, right? So this is the sun. Now this is all you see location, right? But the sun comes in position, location, and directions through its antenna. Now set antenna location, position, location to align. Now this comes into high center. Your antenna changes position locations. Let's say you go into the sacral. So you're sending sacral location to the sun, right? Sun gets its reverberation location to its channel line center, sets up number sequence locations into channel operation line system. Triangulation force lines into square units equals box in location. So it's true to understand that all levels of you is all calculated and modified how you use your sun in your computerized line system. And then when you program locations, once you're in your sacral communication, the moon comes in position. It's got to be in position, location, directions. Okay. Got to be in position of direction. All right. So there's the moon, right? So it's about understanding that it's very complicated because if you can't see the moon in the skyline center, you're confused through anomaly. So it's interesting how you see the sun line, but then I see another reflection over there. If that's a sun, what's this? Well, it's something you created a thought line center to somebody else's location. So you brought something in their position, location, and directions. That offlines your position, location, of what you're doing through your realities, and you're not going to create anything through its manifestation. Right? Because you're bringing somebody else's sun and somebody else's moon in its equation. And that's why it's so important. It's just to have an open mind. You and only you, nobody else. Anybody else bring the equation? Brings it in an equation location. It's disruption. Either it's force line communication of going forward or force line communications of going back in signal. All right. So once your moon comes in position location, it's trying to understand, okay, so you went in sacral line center. Now you're setting position locations to your power line center, going in solar plex locations. You're off channel through power line interference. All right. So basically, this is what happens location to your core. All right. Now it's basically understanding what your atom is doing in the specific location of those directions. That's the atom. That's your power line center. Now, in recognition high center interference, the sun has to understand your position. If the sun doesn't understand your position, you're going to have a huge problem. It's the allocate timeline. So you have to go back into all levels of the ground centers, communicate all line rotations with the growthing location, set course line centers and channel line rotation, changes all line is this location and direction. Okay? So once you get in that location, ground line center set up position location to a new flux capacitor into the sun to the moon position location and direction. Okay? Now you highline the signals interference, making sure your thoughts are in the right signal location. They communicate back with each other. Once they communicate with each other, they set up line graph locations, electrical light connections to its position. That changes line center location to ground line center and interference location, 3 waving locations. Ooh-ah. Now you're back in calculations, right? So I'm just showing you how powerful it is, how you can change your line centers at all levels on your frequencies, and how you are so informed with nature. And when you see these things, you have to understand where your sun is and where your moon is in position locations, making sure you have the same thought pattern. If the sun doesn't recognize you through a thought and you automatically change another thought line center, you're going to confuse your moon. You're going to confuse the triangulation and the fluctuation. You're going to change the ground lines of activation, guys. Right? So really focus on what you're doing with your thoughts. The same equation line centers the 2 vector line interference location of where the sun is and where your moon is in position, location, directions. Okay? So, yes, but see, it's all inside you. Okay? So whatever you do with your sun line, basically it reflects, it's projecting what you see outline. That's your reality. But if you're provisional location and you're observating and you're basically scanning somebody and you don't know what you're doing, you're bringing in their sun and their reality to their moon in your position, location, and direction, which is not good because now they're in your portal. You got to get them out. Right? So it's 2 realities. And your sun's going, and your moon is going, right? So you're off centering everything, right? And your fluctuation, you're going like this, right? So you don't want to do that in any way and form. Really understand what the sun is to you. Really understand what the moon is to you. The sun of light and the moon of program. That's all it is. Fluctuation is all levels of you. Okay? So it's better to understand to keep your thought line centers in direct locations to one position location in one direction. To the grounds, the powers, and the atmosphere locations. See your sun. See? Flux capacitor. Down in signal. So that's why you guys are so powerful. Because you're not aware of what you're doing with your thoughts. You're not realizing you're changing your position locations to your sun and your moon. Right? Especially if the sun is cloudy. Let's say you have the sun. This is interesting when a cloud, covers over the sun, you're doing that. Nobody else is doing that. Nobody else is seeing your position of the sun. Nobody else is seeing your position of the moon. It's only what you're perceiving location. So if you're going through a cloud line center, that is not your perception. That is somebody else's perception that you created through the location to their reality. You brought their cloud center in. Ooh, why do you think clouds cover suns? Why? I don't have anything in position. I have an open sky. I don't direct anything in that center of interference location, anything through negative channel locations, or anything through thought line centers, anybody's reality locations. Just me and nobody else. I don't use provision tactile line centers and open up cycle line interference location of portals. That doesn't represent me. Right? So if there's a cloud in front of your sun, that is not you. That's somebody else's cloud. It's very complicated if you don't understand how to use the mind adaptation to your imagination to its phenomenal location, guys. Being aware of what you're bringing in through your thoughts affects everything through your reality. Okay? It's very powerful. Okay? You understand why there's so many clouds. I didn't want that. That's not you. That's somebody else's clouds. I keep saying that. Truly understand. Oh, it's raining. I didn't want it to rain. That's not me. That's somebody else. Your interpretation is everything through thought location. Channel in yourself and you'll be fine. Thinking about somebody else, you're in trouble. Now, if it's going forward, it's fine. But be prepared because that person could either change or not change. It all depends on them, especially if they're in the past line communication of reference. Don't bring anything in the position of past into the now because it affects your simulation. To structure. Let's say you get a triangulation line interference force line communication cyclone that comes in business location in your directions. That's not me. That's somebody else that created that. What's it doing in my reality? I didn't want that. Throw it out. Right? But you have to be aware of what you're seeing. Right? Because if you're not seeing your perception, you're seeing somebody else's indication. Powerful, isn't it? You can be communicating with 12 different people on 12 different timelines, right? And you can have 12 different dimensionalized centers of reality in your brain capacity. And you're not even aware of it. Not even aware of it. You produce your own energy. You can also produce somebody else's energy too, the reality locations. If you're caught in a paradox, they're caught in a paradox because you're allowing it to happen. It's interesting how you use your thought lines, right? I'm giving you guys another multipass. Only perceive what you want to see. If you're seeing things that you don't understand, only use observation. Don't scan them because they're scanning you. And if they scan you, what are you going to do next? See, this is the true understanding where it comes into all levels of intelligence. It's about you living your system of completing system. Okay? That's what you guys have to understand. That's why you see things different in your position location and how, wait a minute, I didn't create this. What is that doing there? So I communicate the X2000 line center. Oh, yeah, got it. It's that perception I didn't want in. See, that's not me. Because it's a it's an error. It's a virus. It's a Trojan. That's not set in signal. So if it's in your reality and it's spinning in through cycle, I didn't create that geometry interference. What's that doing there? Get that out of there. Right? Gone. X2000s takes it out. But you have to communicate to the mind to get these things out through equation. That's how powerful you guys are. But what is your intent? Don't you allow yourself to defeat that location or position of time or anything through interference locations is going to change all your thought line centered interference location. All through clocking. Okay? So, powerful stuff, isn't it, guys? Don't bring anything in the equation. Only you. Right? So, this is what it is. So, let's say you get your best friend your whole life, right? And they get activated for the very first time. They're really excited. They're wow, this is great. I'm activated. This is beautiful. I'm connecting to myself now. I feel great. I feel amazing. All of a sudden, it takes over you. Not only it took over your reality, took over your program, took over your heart, took everything that you had. Manipulation. All because you were distracted. See? Truly understanding and excitement can go a long way too, but in a wrong way location. Be aware of who you're connecting with and all of the system. Not only you can change the space line or anything communication cycles or any line center interference, you just focus on yourself. And that's why I keep saying that. Stay in your position locations to your reality. Stay in your freedom, your sovereignty, you'll be fine. Be cautious in who you bring in. You're not just bringing somebody into thoughts. You're bringing their space into you, which is reflecting both out here. Why is it so powerful to understand these things? So many levels you guys don't understand. You are the co-creators. Become what you want to become. Okay? That's what it is. It's all levels of memory. Understanding why you're doing this and what is the process of doing this in the first place. Well, I want to get into my space and time and know exactly what I'm doing. Because if you don't know what you're doing, things can be taken over. That simple. Right? Create your own space. Don't bring anybody else's space inside. And you'll be fine. That's it. That's all it is. All right? Take a track line, interference line, center, interference, location, and direction line system. Code weave of center line centers, bring it back in communication, ground line, center, perception locations, back in the sun, back in the moon location. Done. You guys are back. You're back. So that was a lot of fun, what we just finished doing. Showing you how powerful it is when you see an atmosphere change. That's not you. That's something that you created through somebody else. Why do you think intelligence is so powerful? Why do I keep saying for you guys just to focus on yourselves and be cautious on what you see, hear, and touch, and taste, and feel, and do, and act, and react, right? You see everything every single day. Use it through observation only, or you're going to bring it into your reality, and it's going to show up into your atmosphere. Okay. Questions or comments? I'll be on TikTok. Everybody have a great day. Adios.